Hello and welcome back to Creative Control, the entertainment podcast. It has been a minute. We have been absent for a few weeks. I went on a last minute honeymoon. Everyone's diaries have been packed, but we're back now, hopefully on a weekly basis. And yeah, we're here to talk movie, TV, entertainment news. Joining me on today's episode, we have Neil the Treatment. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. And we also have Sashman, half amazing. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, not bad. All good.
Good stuff. Thank you for being here, guys. I've missed this. I've missed talking to you guys about movies, TV, and film. And like I said, today's episode, not particularly any structure. We're going to talk about TV, some of the shows that are coming up, some of the stuff we watch, gives our thoughts, opinions, reviews. Same for movies. And anything else that we want to talk about, basically. So yeah, it's a bit of a free-for-all. But before we do that, again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube, and thank you very much for listening if you're listening to the audio podcast. We'd really love you to support our channel. Please hit that like and subscribe on YouTube and hit that follow. And if you can, leave us a 5-star review, hopefully, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Right, let's start talking about TV. Actually, what I want to start with is Batman Caped Crusader. So this is the new Batman animated series. Have you guys seen the trailer?
Yeah, I saw it today.
Right, what do you guys think?
I really liked it, personally.
I do.
I thought it was Kevin Conroy as Batman because it sounded
I did
kind
at
of
first
similar.
too.
And I got told that it wasn't, and I was like, oh damn! So whoever the replacement is, yeah, he sounds good. He sounds like Batman. I'm interested to see who they get for Joker because obviously Mark Hamill has famously turned around and said that he's retired the role since Conroy's no longer with us.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see who they get back, or if it's some of the people that have done Joker in the other animated stuff, or whether they get someone new. So that's going to be real interesting because Mark Hamill was very iconic in that voice. I'm pretty sure all the fanboys would want him to keep going, but I get it from a personal standpoint. You know, he can't carry on without his right hand man. So that's fair enough. But the aesthetic looks great. I hear that. Now, I haven't read up on it recently. I just know what they first announced. Now, I understand that Bruce Timm is back. Back, so it kind of looks like the animated series. I thought it was like a continuation or a prequel to the animated series, but by what I understand, it's like its own thing. So it's like a reboot kind of thing. I hear that it's also more adult rated, so they can push it in places that they couldn't do before on the animated series. So that really does interest me because it's got that art style of film noir that we love from the older animation, and it's doing its own thing. I like the Batmobile, that it's a bit of a hybrid between the 1940s look of the Batmobile and the animated series Batmobile. I did like that look. So yeah, I'm excited for it, man. So we'll see how it goes. I know I've spoken to a few people are a little bit disappointed because they were expecting it to be a continuation of the animated series. But the way I see it is, look, we had our time, man. That was a great show that led into Justice League and stuff. And, you know what I mean? Like, we were never really promised the sequel as such. And I'm good with this, man. So hopefully I'll enjoy it a lot more than the boring Robert Pattinson shambles that's on screen at the moment. My personal opinion, come and kill me. I hate that movie. It's trash. But this looks great. This looks more up my alley. So yeah, this is my Batman if it's good. So we'll see.
I mean, it's so funny. The more Sasha talks about the Batman, he gets worse and worse. his opinion and rating of it.
It's fucking long and boring, and it should have finished like 25 minutes shorter than it did. You know, if they wrapped it up in a bow earlier, I would have been like, that's one of the greatest Batman films I've ever seen. You know, with the Seven kind of vibe to it, or David Fincher vibe to it, and but then no, some executive at Warner Brothers felt we need an action sequence, and guess what? Because the pacing, and this look, I don't mind it being a long thing, but pacing is key. All right, just because it's film noir, don't mean that you keep the action sequences at a long pace. You up the tempo. Look at a film like LA Confidential. It has certain scenes with action in, they up the tempo for the action sequences so you don't notice the pace and you're more invested in the thing. I was not invested in this fucking movie. Seriously, this was one movie when action scenes came, I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? You told me the story, it's ended. I get he inspired another bunch of motherfuckers to take down the city, spoilers, and the flood, but you could have done that a lot quicker. And then the goodbye scene at the end as he goes off on his motorcycle, that felt like it took half an hour. Yeah, I mean, just give me my panning shot at the bell tower with the bat signal. We're done. You know what I mean? Like, that could be done in like 5 seconds. Sorry, you unopened Pandora's box. That movie sucks.
No,
Patterson was cool, though. I like Patterson.
I said it's an open chat, so vent your feelings, bro. Vent your feelings.
I like Robert Patterson. I'm pro Patterson. I was pro Patterson before all you motherfuckers said. I remember when he was cast, I was like, you know what? I seen The Rover. I seen The Last City of Z. I've been watching all of his shit except for Twilight. So I was like more open for him being Batman. When I saw his Batman, when I saw that trailer, I was like, this is going to be good. I was hyped when I went into that theater. When I saw their depiction of Joker, I was like, yes, this is sick. But the last 20 minutes took the wind out of that movie for me. It just, oh man, every time I've watched it, it's like they add 10 minutes more. Like seriously, it's like they literally add an extra. That's why I stopped watching it. Like, I won't watch it again. I refuse to watch it again. I've seen it 5 times now. 5 times. I'm hoping that it would get better. Yeah. And it doesn't. It just gets longer. So
all right. Well, we'll clip that, put that on TikTok, and let's get some feedback. So
but for the record, if you are going to clip that, look, it's a movie for me. If I was being honest, it's like an 8. It's not a 10. There are bare people saying it's the best Batman ever made. Blah, blah. You guys are delusional.
Hang on, you're saying it's an 8, but it's trash.
No, but you know what it is? I'm trying to give a fair score, because if you cut out the 20 minutes, if you cut out the fucking flood and all of that bullshit, and they just catch the Joker, and you pan up and go the end, I'm there. I
swear on our WhatsApp, you've been giving
me
3s
the
and 4s.
Riddler. Yeah,
the Riddler. Yeah, you're right. The Riddler. But you know what I mean? Like there was an ending point to that movie, a proper logical ending point to that movie, where they would have kept to the promise that this is a film noir. But then they were like, oh, we need to add an action sequence, and they did. And not only was it a long, boring fucking action sequence, it was just trash, man. It was a trash action sequence.
All right. Sasha can keep going on, so we're going to move on.
We're
talking about totally. So in terms of the voice,
Crusader.
In terms of the voice, it's being done by Hamish Linklater. So he was in Midnight Mass, the preacher in Midnight Mass.
Okay.
Yeah, I think originally when they were pitching this, it was going to be almost like a sequel series, because originally it was going to be sort of like HBO Max, on Max, but then they dropped it. And so then it was pitched to other studios, and that's how Amazon have picked this up, and that's why it's on Amazon Prime. So it's going to be 10 episodes. It's they're all dropping on the same date, 1st of August.
Good.
And it's like a spiritual successor, is like what they're saying. So you're right, Bruce Timm's involved, but also involved is Matt Reeves, who did the Batman, and obviously he's doing the Penguin series and everything related to that, Elseworlds universe, and also J.J. Abrams, he's involved as well. Yeah. So it's the 3 of them involved in this. But it has got some really good voice talent. And so the characters that have been confirmed, we've got Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and we've got Harvey Dent Two-Face. But in terms of the voice cast, we've got Minnie Driver, McKenna Grace, Eric Moran Stewart, John DiMaggio. So there's quite a decent cast here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like I say, the trailer looks good. It's a nice tone. They've changed the look of Harley Quinn as well. So, it is different. But like you say, it is a spiritual homage. It does look very similar to the animated series. But if it's going to go a bit of a darker tone, more adult tone, looking forward to it. Neil, what are your thoughts?
I like the look of it. I mean, for me, I think I look at it like, I use this comparison because this is probably the easiest comparison to make. If the Batman at the animated series that we like all watched as kids, if that is the Dark Knight trilogy, this is the Batman. They're
Right,
both
yeah.
sitting like side by side tone wise, but they are their own thing. I don't even think it's like a spiritual like successor to it, because I think really and truly, if we look at it, we got two sequels to the Batman the animated show. We got the Justice League, and then we got
Yes.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Hmm.
So I look at it like I just hold it in its own. I know that they're saying that it's set in like it's set in like a certain time period. I think it's like the 40s. Like
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I think it's like the 40s or the 50s. So that strips down what Batman has technology wise, but it also makes it better because
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. The cast, I'm like, it's cool.
Hmm.
It looked good. It sounded good. I liked when I saw Harley Quinn, how she was like the outfit she had on
Yes.
was very much a Harlequin's outfit. So I was like, cool. Do anything.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that there was no Joker in it. I didn't see, I didn't hear. I was like, let that be a surprise.
Absolutely. And if he does appear, let him come like episode 8 or 9 or even 10. Set him up for
Or
next
even
season.
next season.
Yeah, exactly that. Save him and have a little tease the end of episode 10, ready for the next season. Because his rogues gallery is so big, we don't need any more Joker.
Yeah, exactly. I think at this point, the character of the Joker, people are jokered out. You know, we're at the point where it's like, oh, it's the new Joker since last Tuesday. You know what I mean? So let's savor it. Savor it. People like to be prick teased. How good was Batman Begins when we weren't getting your standard villains? We had Ra's al Ghul, we had Scarecrow, and then they prick teased us with Joker at the end with the card. That was genius. That was genius, man.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about Harry Potter. So originally this was going to be Harry Potter. So Harry Potter, the new series, live action series, which was it was due to be on Max. But it's actually moved to HBO now. So that's a bit of an update. So whether that means it's going to be a little bit more of an adult tone, but I think it's more of a case of it's going to be available on TV. Because obviously HBO is a subscription channel you can get, so it's not like you have to be subscribed to Max and it's going to be a streaming platform. It's going to be on a channel like The Last of Us and Game of Thrones, everything else. So it's going to be available on a wider spectrum. But it has got its director now, and it has got its writer. So the director, Mark Mylod. And so he has done a lot of TV. He's done Game of Thrones. He's done 4 episodes of The Last of Us for the season 2 that's coming up. And he did do a movie recently, or The Menu. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Anya Taylor-Joy,
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah, exactly. I really like that film. That was great. I think I made my top 10 of that year. So and he actually did. Oh my god, did he actually do this? Was he Ali G in the House? Did he do this movie back in the day? Yes, he did. He was director of Ali G in the House. So he's been around a while. He's been around a while, and he's got some different things on his CV. So
wait. If he did Ali G in the House, did he do a short film called Spies? SPYZ.
Can't see it here, but he did 23 episodes of Entourage back in the day as well.
Okay.
So Game of Thrones, like I said, Succession. He's done a lot for Succession recently, which obviously has had big award accolades and stuff like that. And it's actually the writer of Succession, so kind of a bit of a duo. He's come on board to do the writing for Harry Potter. So that's the update. Niels, what are your thoughts? Because I know you've looked a lot of this Harry Potter series and done some of your casting ideas and stuff like that. So what do you think of that?
I think it's good. I think it was a natural like progression that it was not going to be on HBO Max, because the reality is like something like, I'm trying to think of something that is like HBO Max exclusive. So like The Penguin.
Yes. Well, it's called Max now, isn't it? Because HBO is still,
Yeah, so it's called Max, right? But something like The Penguin It, you look at what the Batman is like, but obviously Batman as a character has a completely worldwide international appeal. You see that logo anywhere, you know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it doesn't have the ability to instantaneously just catch an infinite amount of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Harry Potter is one of the few things that has that. Like Harry Potter has that, regardless of how good or bad it is. Star Wars still has that, because they're things that they appeal to children,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that this is like their tentpole TV show for Warner Brothers, and
Yeah.
you can't put your tentpole show on a streaming service that isn't even available in every country.
No,
So you
I
gotta be able
absolutely
to
agree with that.
You gotta be able to sell it to like every country.
Absolutely agree, because shows like the Peacemaker and stuff like that, they got delayed so much coming over here because in the UK, most of the stuff goes through Sky, and Sky Atlantic is like their HBO channel, so a lot of the shows end up on there, but it takes time, and the series like this, you have to get it out to the wider audience.
Everybody in the world needs to watch it the same day.
This is your biggest franchise. I know they've got their DC, but the way DC's performed at the box office compared to like Harry Potter should make a bank. It's going to bring in merchandise and all sorts and revamp that. It's going to get people back into the theme parks, and it's just going to bring all that.
I think if like, sorry to interrupt, I think if they do it well, it will be as big as like what Game of Thrones was when it was like got to like season 4, season 5 Game of Thrones, and it was like everybody was watching it. Harry Potter will be that, because like even within our group of creative control team, pretty much all of us have seen at least one Harry Potter film.
Oh yeah.
A number of us have read the books. A number of us have Harry Potter paraphernalia. I'm like, I have 2 ones right above me. It's a thing that is like monumental. Yeah,
agreed. Sash, any thoughts on Harry Potter? No. Fine.
Sorry, I was quickly doing something else. Harry Potter. Yeah, I give no fucks.
Fair enough.
I didn't care about it before when it was in production, like the original set of films. I just watched them. Yeah, look, Harry Potter. Look, even though it's not really for me, because even though it's not for me, I understand it's a big phenomenon. I think it's almost as big. I think it's definitely last generation Star Wars. All right,
yeah,
to a degree. I think an argument could be said to that, because look, my cousin is a huge Harry Potter fan. Okay, so sorry, Chrissy, I yucked on your yum there. It's just never been my thing, but I appreciate it's her thing. She's like Potter mad, and I've not gone to the Potter world, which is down the road from me, really, and I've not gone there because I wouldn't appreciate it. But I'd like to take my cousin to see that, because I know she'd like up and like it'd be like the best thing ever. When I was in New York, they had like the Harry Potter store, and she was like in Disney World or something. And I was like, wow, when you're on the high of someone else's like shit, it was really magical. So that's cool. I know there's a lot of people, like any IP is like, oh, fucking series, blah blah blah. But hey, look, end of the day, Warner Brothers, they need to make fucking money. And if he's gonna sell the company, because those are the rumors, that's why there's a Superman reboot. This is the perfect thing to appeal to investors. Sorry, guys, I'm putting my business hat on.
Yeah,
okay?
No, absolutely.
And you're selling a company. What looks more appealing to investors? Big IPs that they can't do jack shit with, or muddled IP that nobody goes to see their movies for, because Shazam. Shazam 2, Black Adam, Aquaman. I know some people's excuse would be like, oh, but James Gunn. But where were you for Black Adam? James Gunn wasn't hired then. Henry Cavill was in that. You know what I mean? Fair enough. Like week 1, I understand. But week 2, when you know the cat's out the bag, where are people that you're supposed to butts in seats? You vote with your tickets. No one voted that. And that's why, you know, they went panic control. They were like, we need to do something.
Change it up. Yeah.
We need to change it up. So they went the drastic route. And I know a lot of Schneider fans are going to be real upset. Okay, I was a bit upset. You know what I mean? Because I like Henry Cavill, and after the Schneider cut, I think we all agreed the Schneider cut was amazing.
Yeah,
and
it was.
We want that future. We want that shit. You know what I mean? For Justice League Part 2. But you know that those dreams are dead now, and we got to accept them. But the thing is, it's you know, they're trying to look. I reckon he's trying to sell the company. Okay, I reckon he's trying to sell the company. And what looks great to investors, a brand new Superman DC universe with a brand new Superman that they can build off of if the movie's a success. But then if the sale goes through before the movie comes out, that's a win for them because they haven't spent anything. You know what I mean? Yeah, they bought the company, but they didn't go, okay, but you know. And same with Harry Potter. And same with Harry Potter. Harry Potter is like one of the biggest IPs ever made. Okay. And even though I'm a film purist and stuff and whatnot, from a business point of view, I get it. I don't agree with it. Okay. I would have just done the fucking stage play version. All right. Okay. I would have done the stage play version. I would have paid those kids whatever they want to come back. Just come back, stage play version, boom. And then I probably would have looked at Fantastic Beasts or turn around with JK and go, okay, this isn't working. Can we create a new IP out of this to, you know what I mean, to expand your universe in some other way? Because no one likes the Beast shit. You know what I mean? Or no one's coming to the Beast shit. And then maybe we can revisit this at a later date to finish off those story arcs kind of thing. Because who knows, in 20 years it becomes around. People go, I remember the Beast and we want the Beast. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But like, you know, that's what I would have done with Potter. But with what they're doing now, even though I disagree with it, makes perfect business sense if he's selling the company. But that's my 2 cents.
Cool. Well, we're talking about DC. So one of the other things that was announced this week was DC Studios have greenlit the Lanterns TV series. Again, this is going to be a HBO series. It's been greenlit for 8 episodes. And this is obviously going to fall under the new DC with James Gunn stuff. And Nathan Fillion is set to play Gardner.
Guy Gardner.
And I'm sure that's going to be part of this series, but I'd imagine we're going to get obviously several versions, so we might get our Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, whatever it may be. So this they've been talking about a Lantern series for a long time. They announced this back when they announced like their DC slate. Do you remember when they were talking about a Flash movie and stuff like this? This was announced back then, but it just never got off the ground. Neil, as our resident DC guru and expert, what are your thoughts on Lanterns?
I think it's probably the only thing that works as a TV show amongst everything else. I mean, I understand that, you know, for James Gunn's slate, there is like Themyscira, which is the TV show set on Wonder Woman's island. There is, you know, I think is it Creature Commandos. There's, you know, there's a lot of shows coming out. But I think the only thing that really just as an entity works as a TV show straight off the bat is Lanterns, because I think even in the fact just calling it Lanterns, because to me it's like a triple entendre, because you've got Green Lanterns, so the show is Lanterns. You've got multiple Green Lanterns.
You've got yellow lanterns,
and then you've got all the other colors, right? You've got yellow, you've got indigo, you've got sapphire, you've got red lanterns, you know, you've got the orange lantern, right? And the reason I say orange lantern, not lanterns, is because there's only one of this dude, right? But it's just that thing, you know, and working as a TV show, because there's so much stuff that happens within the realm on the world of the Green Lanterns that you have it as a show, like every season you end it with the next thing. And I envision it like the end of season 2 or the end of season 3, you just have a Black Lantern ring.
Right.
For anybody who doesn't know, like, oh shit. Like you're in
Alright,
for it.
okay.
You're in for some business, but I think scaling it all the way back to just what's been announced, Green Lantern's show works well because
Mhm.
it's like a cop show.
Yeah, and that's what they said it is. It's going to be Hal Jordan and Stewart,
Yeah.
basically like a detective show,
Mhm.
So I think it's like, police in space,
Yeah.
I'd imagine they're probably going to almost go like a true detective style.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is something like that works amazingly well because I think you think of Green Lantern and you think, well, dude can fly in space and he's got superpowers. You expect all this big hoo-ha, bright, flashy lights and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to remember their job is to be the police officers of space. They are the NYPD of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And
Well, actually, the showrunner is Chris Mundy, who was the showrunner for True Detective Night Country. So there you go.
perfect.
And it's got the co-writers Damon Lindelof from Watchmen and
Mhm.
DC Comics Tom King. So
David Lindelof. No, God, man.
not a fan, Sasha?
No.
He's
No.
burned bridges with Sasha.
Oh my God, man.
He's
That
burned a couple of
guy-
bridges with Sasha.
Yeah, it was all good until you said Damon fucking Lindelof, man. Oh my gosh. I ain't got hope for the show. I'm saying it now. No. Him, Simon Kinberg. Nah. Nah.
So what he's involved in at the moment? So he's got lanterns, and he's also doing Star Wars New Jedi Order.
Who?
So Lindelof.
No, he's not. He started it and he's left the project.
Okay.
Yeah, he left
That'll
the
be
project
interesting.
early.
Did he watch the Acolyte?
He was actually
Yeah.
the first person hired for that.
Right. Okay. So it just hasn't been updated yet. Okay.
Yeah, he left. There was creative difficulties, but he's the one that started that bullshit by going, I want to do a Rey Skywalker movie. It's like, David, what are you doing? And then like not even that. It's like a lot of us were like, I was like, I'm not surprised. But then, he fell out with them because they want to go a certain way with it that he doesn't want to do it. So it's like, okay, cool, but you're the guy that put the seed in there. But who knows? It might be the greatest Star Wars ever, but I'm not going to watch it.
Well, he was one of the creators of Lost. He did the screenplay for Cowboys and Aliens. He wrote Prometheus. He wrote Star Trek Into Darkness.
Yeah, all those films. He was
Screenplay
one
for
of the
World War
writers.
Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the
Yeah, yeah.
writers. He's not.
Yeah,
the
I would
writer.
like to point out. To point out that the main writer of Prometheus, it was not him.
Yeah, was not him.
Yeah.
But no, with Lindelof, for me, World War Z, get the fuck out, man. That was a shambles. That was a fucking. I still ain't forgiven him for that. So, like, fuck that movie. And Lost 2. Not that I've seen any of Lost, but like, I hear it was fucking bad.
Lost was a great show. What are you talking about?
And fucking, what was it? Look,
I
you
never
can't say
watched
someone
Lost, so
shit for something you haven't seen.
I like Prometheus, but come on, man, there was some bits, man.
But again, how much is that his fault? So
Space Cobras, man, Space Cobras. That's all.
You know what? I like for anyone who does not like Prometheus or has issues with Prometheus, I say you square your blame with the one name that you see at the end of the opening credits.
Yeah.
Cheers. Okay.
Right.
Let's move on. We're going to touch on Star Wars a little bit because I haven't seen The Acolyte. Okay, and I know it's been getting a lot of talk, shall we say, online. So I can't get involved. I'm not going to get involved in that because I haven't seen it. Okay, so I literally watched the first 15 minutes and that was it. So I can't comment any more on it. So we'll do that. If Neil, if you want to have a quick chat about it, more than welcome. What I will talk about with Star Wars is Andor Season 2. So Ben Mendelsohn is returning with his character from Rogue One. director Orson Krennic. He actually did appear, maybe this might be spoilers for you, so bear in mind, The Bad Batch. He reappeared in there and did the voice for his character in that show. But yeah, he's coming back as live action in Andor season 2, which for me is a great thing because he's a fantastic actor. Sasha, you've been watching The Bad Batch, right? So good show?
Yeah, it's a good show. I mean, here's the thing with The Bad Batch. It's more a kid's show. So don't expect it to be adult-y or whatnot. It's very much a kid's show. One of the main characters in it is a child. So expect a little bit more kiddie humor. However, it starts off like the A-Team in space, more or less. So, you know, they go on their missions, but it's all character development, mission of the week. But then at the end of season 1, it's like, oh, God damn, this is, okay, shit's heating up. I want to know more. And then season 2 is pretty damn good, and you want to know more. And then season 3 was good, and it was a good ending. But is it triple A? Is it okay? In my opinion, Star Wars Rebels is triple A gold class, right?
Agreed.
Okay, this is not that. Okay, this is just slightly below. It's good. It's all right.
Okay.
It's an okay watch. But
so is Orson Kenrick a good character to bring back?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, look, if Andor season 2 is going to lead on into Rogue One, he has to be back. So, you know, it makes perfect sense. It's it's fine. Andor is definitely one of the better Star Wars shows for sure.
Yes.
I have very few issues with that. The only thing my only complaint with Andor was that it just didn't feel like Star Wars. It lacked the adventure of Star Wars, you know. It was more hardcore sci-fi like Dune and Blade Runner, and I love Dune and I love Blade Runner. They're great masterpieces of sci-fi film,
but they're not Star Wars.
They're not Star Wars, you know what I mean? So it just felt a bit odd for me. But for some people, that's their jam and they really love it. And that's fine because you know what? Like, it's not a bad show. The second thing I have is more maybe add more to what makes Star Wars Star Wars. There were a few aliens in here, but Star Wars is renowned for being really overpopulated with crazy aliens. You know what I mean? You have none of that here. Every alien's a humanoid kind of character, except for maybe one or two things. And you kind of play a game. After the first 2 episodes, you play a game of let's spot the alien. If that makes sense. So it's like, what did the prop department run out of costumes, or you can't reuse shit, or where the fuck's the aliens in the galaxy, man? Like,
you know what it is?
Yeah,
Prometheus. Andor is the Prometheus of Star Wars.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it. It's a good show. Those are the only 2 things I change for season 2. Otherwise, worth the look. Definitely catch it. Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll talk about, well, you mentioned Blade Runner there, so let's talk about the Blade Runner series, Blade Runner 2099. Are you guys excited for it? Look, Blade Runner's not my thing. I watched the first movie much later, like maybe 5 years ago with Sasha or something like that. I thought it was okay. I rewatched it recently just to see how I felt, and kind of felt the same. And so I haven't watched 2049? I haven't watched that one yet, so that's on my watch list. But I know, Sasha, you're a big fan of Blade Runner. Neil, I don't know how you feel about it. What are you thinking about this TV series?
Well,
silent.
I don't know. I'm mixed, man. I'm mixed. Here's the thing. 2049 did something I didn't want them to do, and here's the thing. All right, the thing is with Blade Runner, what I love about Blade Runner is that, you know, is he a replicant? Is he not a replicant? Depending on which cut you watch, there are arguments to be made about yay or nay. Obviously, in the final cut, he was trying to cement it that it was, but I think there's still an argument to say that there wasn't. And that's the beauty of the damn movie. It is up there with Inception with the spinning top. Okay,
Mhm.
except the difference is that Nolan wanted people to have the debate, whereas Ridley Scott and Harrison Ford would argue over what was what, and Warner Brothers agreed with Harrison Ford and wanted him to be human, but Ridley Scott's like, no, he's a replicant. So that that was, you got to understand, I've lived with this movie and I've lived with this debate, okay,
Mhm.
my whole life, and watch my Zido's Gang response to Blade Runner 2099, okay? Ken, if you could find that episode and the clip and get my raw reaction to that, get Joe's permission and all of that,
All
put
right,
it on
cool.
here. Put it on here because it's worth it. All right. It's worth how I feel. Now, it's a movie I didn't want a sequel to. Okay. Like, if there was to be a sequel, I didn't want no Harrison Ford. I wanted it to be a fresh, brand new Blade Runner, kind of like the video game, set in that world, but new cast. You know what I mean? And the video game, that's an iconic video game because it kind of like has characters from the movie. You never bump into Deckard. You're your own Blade Runner. It has like about 12 different endings. You know, it was great. So it's very much like, if you were to do a series, that would be the way to do. So this one, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not expecting it to be great or anything. What did I think? 2049? I liked it. I liked it for the most part. I thought it was a very good movie. I thought it was well directed. But I just felt it was an unnecessary movie because I didn't need to see Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford and I love that he was in it. And I didn't mind if Deckard was in it. Just don't answer the fucking question. And they had to answer the fucking question. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you've taken what was a special debate amongst moviegoers and you've just put it out there. And Harrison Ford had shown that his beliefs can be bought. All right. That's what that movie said to me. So, but outside of how I feel about that, it was a good movie. It was a good movie for what it was and stuff. But I've not seen it again. I own it, but I just never watched it. You know what I mean? I've just never sat down and watched it again. I've seen it twice, though. I saw it twice in cinema. So it was like, let me make up my mind on this because, you know, it's the kind of movie you got to take time with it and whatnot. And I still feel the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate it, but it's, you know what I mean? It does things that I didn't want it to do and it did it. And I was like, I don't hate it, but it's like, But in terms of this show, fresh new cast, it's set miles in the future. Hopefully there's no Deckard. Let's go. Let's see what they got. I'm intrigued. I love the casting of Michelle Yeoh because she's one of the best out there in my eyes. And hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll be a whole new breed of Blade Runner, and we'll see. But
Neil,
I
what are
had a
your
lot to
thoughts?
say on Blade Runner.
Neil, what are your thoughts?
Well, I don't have any affinity for Blade Runner whatsoever.
Okay.
I watched it. It was a film. I was like, okay,
yeah.
cool. You know, it was like I watched it. I enjoyed the first film. I enjoyed 2049. I'm similar to you, Ken. I watched Blade Runner. I like properly watched Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like I was already full-grown adult when I watched it. So I have not lived with any debates about this film. When I watched it, I literally only watched the final cut. So
same.
So at the end of the film, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He is what he is. Done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's like,
true.
get to the next film and he is what he is. I'm just like, cool. So maybe that kind of diffuses any kind of levity I would have for the films and the situation. I think the idea of the new one of 2099, it's cool as as Sasha said, brand new cast, we're way in the future, so we ain't got to really be like, digging up old people and old cast members.
Mhm.
I would, however, say that I just think that from Blade Runner, which is set when 2025,
The
No, it's
2049.
2029.
The
The first
original
one.
Blade Runner.
Yeah,
Ooh, I've forgotten the date.
right.
For
It's
some
like
reason, I want to
November.
think it's
we've already
2019.
passed it. Yeah, we've already
Yeah,
passed
so
it.
we've
2019,
passed
I
it,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sort of like, your technology needs to be different than the last two Blade Runner films. That's all I'm gonna say to the makers of this. Your technology
Yeah.
needs to be different because
Yeah, 2019 it was set.
so
that's
2019.
yeah.
So they had flying cars in 2019. They got flying cars in 2049, and them cars didn't really evolve too tough
Yeah,
from
yeah. So
19.
what's gonna happen
I
50
was like,
years later?
yeah. I'm expect to see it. I'm expect to see something.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Game of Thrones. So season 2 of House of the Dragon is out at the moment. I haven't watched that, so I'm not going to talk about it. I've waited for a few episodes to build up. But we do have, it's been announced that the third season has been greenlit already for House of the Dragon. But we're also getting another Game of Thrones season, which is going to be called A Night of Seven Kingdoms. And it's going to be a prequel series to the original Game of Thrones. So again, set before. So lots of Games of Thrones content coming out. It makes sense. They built up that world. We don't need to be revisiting the same characters. So no issue with this as well. And yeah, I'm a big fan. I really love the first season of House of the Dragon. So have you guys seen the first season?
No, I've seen like maybe 3 episodes.
Okay. Were you big Game of Thrones fans? Either of you?
I absolutely adored the show, the Game of Thrones, the show, but House of the Dragon, this didn't draw me in.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah, I like Game of Thrones. I didn't hate the ending, but I did see the lack of quality in the writing compared to previous seasons, but mainly in that last season. I think they easily had another season to go. They should have went a whole other season to develop those ideas.
Oh, absolutely. They rushed
but that being said, I was like, spin-off show. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until the 4th season comes out,
and
then I'm going to play catch up, because that's how I watch Game of Thrones. That's how I watch TV shows sometimes. There's certain shows that everyone's talking about. If they're not in the zeitgeist in about 1 or 2 years, I either don't bother with them, or you know what I mean, then I'll get on board or whatnot. So, and I wanted to see what the buzz was. Was this going to be good? Was this going to be bad? And I'm hearing really good things from across the board, so I will check it out. Just are we on season 3 now?
No, we're on season 2.
No, season 2. But they've announced season 3.
So yeah. When the 4th season's out, then I'll play catch up, man.
Cool. We'll just talk about some other bits and pieces. So we've got Blue Beetle animated series is in the works at DC Studios. So it's likely that character will continue there rather than film. What else we got? Star Trek Starfleet. They've cast Paul Giamatti as a villain in that. The Boys is to end with season 5. Severance is a fantastic show on Apple TV, one of my favorites. I saw that year. Season 2 is going to be released to that shortly. We'll wrap up the TV section now. Do you guys want to talk about any TV shows you've just watched recently that you want to give a shout out to? Sasha, you were watching a series recently.
Oh man,
Tokyo
I've been watching
something?
a lot of series lately.
So was it Tokyo something?
Shogun. Okay, the 2 shows that I've watched is Disney Shogun.
I'm halfway through that. Yeah,
fucking amazing, amazing. Cannot wait for season 2. But yeah, that show was really good. But the other show that I actually liked more was Tokyo Vice.
Yes,
Tokyo Vice. I forgot what I was watching it on. I think
you saw a BBC.
It's on BBC.
BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, because it was originally a HBO Max show. But,
right. Okay. Yeah.
On BBC.
That show was sick. Really sick. If you want to see some gangster stuff, it's basically about the Yakuza in Japan in the 1990s. It's got Ken Watanabe playing a detective who's trying to it's not that obviously he's trying to bring certain gangs down, but he has allegiances to other gangs, kind of thing. But I don't want to go too into it. You got to watch it to understand it. But ideally, the heart of it comes from this. What's his name? The guy from
Ansel,
Baby Driver. I forgot the guy's name.
Something. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, the guy from Baby Driver that was in the Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Oh, West Side Story.
West Side Story.
Ansel Elgort.
That's
that
him.
guy. Ansel Elgort. He plays a news reporter, an American news reporter, who's the first American news reporter to join a national newspaper, kind of thing. It's based on a true story on the actual reporter's real life while living in Japan in the 1990s. It's set in the 1990s, and it's just a really good time. I really did enjoy it. It's very, very good. The cast is really good. While lead actress is fantastic. Kind of reminds me of a young Katie Slackoff. But yeah, but really good cast. Definitely recommend. Check it out if you're into your like detective thrillers kind of things.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone picks this up because it's had 2 seasons, but it's been cancelled now. So
yeah, well, the cool thing about it is, even though it's been cancelled, you see,
does it wrap up enough?
Yeah, it wraps up. The main story is done. So if there was going to be another season, because he was out there as a reporter, maybe there was more stories that they expand and because it's based on a book kind of thing. Okay. So yeah,
cool. All right, Neil, any TV shows you want to chat about?
No, sir.
You good?
I have not watched anything.
All right, let's talk about some movies quickly. So we saw the trailer this week for Robert Zemeckis' new movie. It's called Here, and it's based off a graphic novel, and the whole movie is basically set in one location, and it's going to be pretty much from Dawn of the Dinosaurs until whenever it finishes, and it's set in this one spot, and you see everything being built, and you see this house being built, and then the whole movie takes place in this one room, and it's got Tom Hanks and what is her name?
Robin Wright.
Robin Wright, that's it, thank you. So obviously they were both together in Forrest Gump with Zemeckis 30 years later, reuniting. So obviously using some de-aging, and you're going to see them young, growing old, and I thought the trailer was really good. It really intrigued me, and it's nice seeing a young Tom Hanks. Do you know what I mean? From like Big Days and stuff like that. It was quite cool. But what do you guys think of the trailer? Have you seen it?
I didn't watch the trailer.
Okay. Sasha,
I thought it was a good trailer. I think it's an interesting concept. I like Robert Zemeckis in practically anything he does. He rarely disappoints, so I'm there. I will say though, Robin Wright, the close up of Robin Wright looked a bit ropey. It did look a bit ropey. Young Tom Hanks looked a lot better, and the thing is though, they're pushing. Mind you, that maybe in the finished film she'll look a lot better. But they're pushing. So what it is, there are many different ways of de-aging a person using CGI and stuff. The most recent one that they've done is the Harrison Ford method, which they did in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom, not the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Dial of Destiny. The Dial of Destiny for the opening. Now that's a new thing where the AI goes through every single picture and film footage.
Like hundreds of pictures.
Yeah. So with Tom Hanks is gonna look a lot better than Robin Wright because not only that,
there's more images of him.
But Tom Hanks has always worked with Robert Zemeckis on features that have pushed the digital realm and the tech. You know what I mean? So they
have and stuff.
They already have all that data of his free because it's ILM doing the effects work. They've already got archives of all of his stuff from back in the day for Polar Express, for the Digital Double and Castaway, for so much stuff. They've got all that data. So he's always going to look good. Robin Wright, on the other hand, they've just got whatever they filmed of her, and there's a lot of footage of her throughout the years because she's been a star since she was a kid. So you know what I mean, like, yeah, but we'll have to see how the visuals go. But you know what, ultimately it's all down to the story and the idea, and Robert Zemeckis is generally good at that, and I think it should be okay. It looked intriguing, it being set in one place. I've seen a lot of short films that have done that kind of concept before. I've seen you know, so we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. And but also I think, you know, in terms of expressions, obviously Tom Hanks has got a much more expressive face than Robin Wright as well, and so when she came onto that screen there wasn't a lot of expression in her face, but like you said, we'll have to see what happens with it. But yeah, you made some really good points there. Have you seen the trailer for Red One?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
I thought that was jokes.
Yeah,
I was
me
pleasantly
too.
surprised.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a Christmas movie. It's taking the concept of Santa, and who's being played by J.K. Simmons, and he's kidnapped. Dwayne Johnson's responsible for, you know, finding him, and he brings on Chris Evans, who again doesn't believe in Santa and all this kind of stuff. But I thought the chemistry worked really well there, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Actually, it looks like Dwayne Johnson's a bit more back on form, and he seems much more relaxed in this role in a sense. But it's great to see Chris Evans doing some more fun stuff because, you know, there's always room for more of him. Kevin Feige, he's hinted that because they've got the new official Marvel podcast now, and the Fantastic Four is, you know, it's pretty much confirmed it's not going to be set in our world as we know it in the MCU. It's going to be sort of a different universe, and it has been confirmed it's going to be set in the 60s as the images and everything tease. So that has been confirmed. That's going to be shooting later this year, potentially towards the end of July, and you know, we'll see what happens there. Other movie news, we've got the Freaky Friday sequel. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, that started filming. Apparently people wanted this. Nosferatu trailer, have you guys watched this? I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm intrigued.
Absolute beauty.
Yeah
Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, all right. The next one we'll talk about is the Thursday Murder Club. So this was the first in a series of books written by Richard Osman. I've loved these books. I've just finished the third one. I've been listening to it recently, and I'm working my way through the series. And it's basically about a group of old people in a retirement home solving murders. Some of them historic, some of them are a little bit now. It's kind of almost like a Agatha Christie vibe, but the characters are just absolutely fantastic. And it's got Amblin Entertainment producing it. So, you know, and Steven Spielberg's a producer. It's got a great cast. We've got Helen Mirren, who's playing Elizabeth, Sir Ben Kingsley, he's playing Ibrahim. We've got Pierce Brosnan playing Ron Ritchie, and Celia Imrie will play Joyce Meadowcroft. Recently joining is David Tennant. He's joined it, but his role's a bit undisclosed. And Naomi Aki, she'll be playing Donna de Freitas. So for fans of there for the Thursday Murder Club, really looking forward to this. It should be very, very exciting. What else has been going on, guys? Bad Boys. Sasha, we had a blast, right? Bad Boys.
I loved it.
Die?
I love Ride or Die, man. I had a good time. I had a genuine good time.
We were cracking up. We saw it with our friend Richard, and we had a blast. I liked it much better than the last one. The chemistry was there, and like Sasha was discussing afterwards, you know, they were given more free reign in terms of their ad-libbing, and I think it shows in this movie because their natural chemistry took it through, and it didn't feel really, really over-scripted, and the action set pieces were good. Yeah. Neil, you're shaking your head. Didn't like it?
For me, it's the worst of the Bad Boy films.
What?
Really?
What? Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah, worst
You
of
need
the
a
Bad Boy
slap.
films.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't recommend y'all come try to slap me, but it ain't the film. It's not. It wasn't for me. It was not for me.
Where did it miss for you? Just out of interest.
Okay, one thing was aesthetic that it missed for me was I can't remember what her name is, but the person playing Martin Lawrence's wife.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there was a switch. Yeah.
Teresa Randall.
Yeah.
Is the only, the only Mrs. Burnett.
Yeah.
That there needs to be. right? So that
Do we
it
know
missed
what
me
happened
there.
to her? Because, like,
No, I think she's retired from acting.
serious.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
she may have retired from acting. So that is because her
Okay.
last actual acting role was Bad Boys 3.
Right. Okay.
So
That's
I'm like,
interesting.
okay,
Because I was like, is she going to show up in Beverly Hills Cop 4? Because she was in Cop 3, and if he's got a daughter, I'm just saying, like,
yeah. So that I was like, it missed me there. Where else did it miss me? I mean, honestly, that is probably where it missed me. But I felt like the jokes didn't really land because, like, to quote another buddy cop movie, they're too old for this shit, right? I had problems. Like, I'm gonna go in, if I go into it, I'm gonna be going into spoilers. So
we can do some spoilers. Yeah.
all right,
Spoiler warning for Bad Boys right
yeah,
away.
spoiler warning. All right. So the fact that Will Smith marries like this doctor who was like his physical therapist after he gets shot in the third film, and not the woman who replaces Captain Howard.
Right, yeah.
Despite they heavily imply that those two were like in love with each other. And it heavily implies that it's like, oh, you know, the woman that he clearly is pining for the most, not her. This just random, for lack of a better term, just random
it's been
person.
a few years. It's been a few years, man.
They
He's
moved
got
on, bro. They
friends.
dated and it didn't work
Yeah,
out.
it didn't work out. There are loads of people that are like that, and yeah, they're fine.
That works in the real world. Let's not bring real world into film shit. That don't work in films. Not like that, right?
Yeah, potato.
Right?
Plus, anyway,
So-
he's Mike Larry. She ain't gonna hold him down,
Right?
all right?
So
It may as well have been some rando.
so that didn't work for me. The
I
fact that like,
think you're being over. I think both of those two things are being overly critical.
They're just so minor to me, but obviously if they affect you. They affect you, like a recasting
look,
and a relationship.
Sitting
Did
there
you not
watching
see Reggie?
Look, that was the only. That was the
Reggie?
Come on,
only.
man.
That was the
You must
only
have loved
shining light of
Reggie.
the film. That was the only shining light of the film.
My god!
Only shining light of the film was Reggie.
Mate,
right?
Reggie
had
needs
his
a
moment,
spin-off, bro.
right?
Absolutely, Reggie. I'm all for a Reggie spin-off.
That was the only shining light of the film. There was nothing else in the film where I sat there and watched it and I was like, yeah, okay, that's well.
All right.
And it was like, again, little things. Like almost everyone in the film is a police officer. And almost everyone in the film is a police officer with at least, 20 plus years experience on the job? Detectives. And Will Smith makes a very accurate statement in there. He's like, do you really think he would put all of this money he's laundering into his own account with his own name? Right? And I was just like, from that, you should know that it's a setup. But,
so that annoys you, but the fact that Mike Lowry is getting married to a different woman, that upsets you. And you say, that's real world, don't bring it into a movie.
Yeah.
Where's your sense of disbelief? Where's it start and finish?
Listen, it was coming in and it was coming out. And I was just sitting there watching the movie and I was just like, nah, I'm not feeling that.
I would gladly watch Ride or Die again, to be honest.
I watched it twice. This is the problem. I watched it twice and it jumped like half a point upwards the second time of watching it. But the second time of watching it, I noticed even more things that I was just like, nah.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so 2 out of 3 thumbs up there. Uncharted 2 movie's been confirmed by Sony. We expect the original guys, Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, to be coming back. Brad Pitt's F1 movie is set for a 2025 theatrical release, potentially being one of the most expensive movies ever made. I keep hearing that the production costs of this movie keep going up and up and up. Same for Gladiator. Gladiator, they're rooming, it's like 300 million plus or something ridiculous. Gladiator 2. So Jordan Peele has confirmed his new movie. That's going to be out in October 26. I think did they have a name for it already?
No, I don't think there
Oh
is.
no, it just said 23 10 26. So he's got a release date. So unless that's the name of the movie, but yeah. So that will be his next movie. What else? What other films have you guys seen recently?
No, I was going to mention a few I'm looking forward to. I mean,
Yeah, go for it. Oh,
there's a couple of trailers
2.
There's a couple of trailers I looked at. Mark Wahlberg's got 2 movies coming out this year. The Union with him, Halle Berry, and what's his name? Wait, I'm just looking at the thing.
Oh,
J.K.
it's a
Simmons.
It's a Netflix movie. I haven't seen that yet. The trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looked good. I was like, okay. Marky Mark. So Halle Berry plays like a spy or something.
Yeah, it's a spy rom-com.
Yeah, the Union, as the agency is called, they need to get someone that's not a spy and someone completely duck out of water for this assignment. So she decides to go and get her ex high school boyfriend.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, who is and Mark Wahlberg. From the trailer, it looks like the chemistry's there. Hey, look, I'm sorry. After John Wick, I want to see Halle Berry do nothing but action films. I'm sorry, man, because one, it's Halle Berry, and two, like after John Wick, she needs to be in more stuff. Okay, like more stuff. Okay, bring her back in the MCU. Goddammit. Anyway, I digress. Just like more Halle Berry, please. Okay, second thing, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Wolves by the Spider-Man Homecoming director. I want to see
Wolves?
That.
Oh, yeah, Wolves. Yeah, it's an Apple movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to see that. And the last one, another Mark Wahlberg movie is. Wait a minute, where'd it go?
Flight Risk.
Directed by. Okay, so funnily enough, Mel Gibson went and did a studio movie. I reckon he's trying to make good to get monies to fund his other 2 projects. The Resurrection of Christ and Lethal Weapon. So he's done a Mark Wahlberg movie called Flight Risk. It's got Topher Grace in it, and it's a thriller on a plane. He's a pilot on the plane. And they're escorting a prisoner, and it's him, the prisoner, the
prisoner, agent, and the pilot.
Yeah, agent and the pilot, and shit goes down. So he's the pilot.
Okay.
You know what I say? Don't watch the trailer.
Okay. I tend to try and avoid more trailers these days.
Definitely don't watch the trailer. Just watch the movie.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I would recommend that too.
Oh, you saw the trailer?
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd say just watch the movie, Ken. Don't just remember Mark Wahlberg's in a movie where he's a pilot.
All right, cool.
But the ingredients are there for a good film and a good thriller, but the trailer kind of spoils the twist, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's still stuff to guess about, but it's definitely something that I'd watch.
Okay. Spielberg's working on a new movie, and apparently it's aiming for a summer blockbuster movie for 2026. Rumors are it's going to be a UFO centralized movie. Don't know.
It is a UFO movie, by what I've heard.
But Emily Blunt apparently is on his list to star in it. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, it's been very hush hush, that movie so far. Anything else you've seen? Neil, have you seen anything recently that you want to comment?
Well, let's see. I saw Bad Boys 2, 4. What else did I mean, I've seen a lot of trailers recently. I mean, I cannot wait. Maxine comes out next week, Friday.
Yes.
Now it's going to be a lovely, 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 lovely little bit of entertainment. Let's see what else. I saw a bunch of trailers. I saw a trailer for Nosferatu, as we mentioned. It's beautiful. The Heretic with Hugh Grant.
Oh, yeah. He plays like a creepy bad guy, doesn't he?
Yeah. That looked sensational.
Okay.
Right. So those were trailers. Trying to think. Well, as like, you know, I mean, the audience doesn't know, but as you know, I've been pretty busy most recently, so I have not been watching films the
Yeah.
way I'm supposed to. I haven't been watching TV shows the way I'm supposed to. I've watched, I think, 2 episodes of The Boys, right? So I've heard that episode 4 is where it gets business end.
I haven't started the new season of The Boys yet, so
Yeah, me
I actually
neither.
haven't watched Gen V.
Same
So,
here. Haven't seen that either.
I would recommend you watch those.
Do we?
Yeah.
Do you recommend watching Gen V before season 4? Does it
Yes,
make a difference?
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing, is it makes a difference because what winds up being essentially the plot of Gen V has major, well, at present moment, from me only watching 2 episodes, it has minor interactions with the Boys show.
Right.
But because of the nature of what it is, it's something that could very easily become major.
Bigger. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. We'll do that. Rian Johnson's confirmed that the next installment of the Knives Out saga is, as they've started filming. So, you know, again, it looks like a really big cast there. Daniel Craig, they had a shot of him on Twitter in his suit. He's got long hair in this one. It looks very strange. But yeah, that's got, I'm trying to think who's in the casting for this one. We've got Andrew Scott, Glenn Close, Kerry Washington, Josh Brolin, Thomas Hayden Church, Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis. So yeah, he didn't pick up our suggestions. If you haven't seen that episode, watch our Knives Out 3 casting options. I think we had a much better cast. But
It's fine. He was busy. He didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
For fans of Zack Snyder out there, he has confirmed that Rebel Moon Director's Cut will start streaming on the 2nd of August. If you want to watch more of that movie, for whatever reason, you have that option. What else is out there?
What else could he have cut out of that movie? Seriously, like,
well, it's going to make it R-rated. So Rebel Moon's like a 12A. So apparently the director's cut makes it R-rated.
I don't think that's going to save it.
No. They've announced a
You know what? It
Godzilla-
won't save
Go on.
it, but it won't save it as a movie. I mean, if you didn't like it, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But I think it will make certain aspects a little bit more believable or a little bit more understandable, because like that moment where in the first Rebel Moon where she where she just goes ham on the guards in the barn.
Yeah.
I was sitting there watching it, and the thing that was going through my head, I was like, why is there no blood?
But yeah.
Like, because I'm like, she's cutting throats and shooting people, and she ain't like, it was like bang bang, and you just see them fall down. Like, she's like gun under the chin, all of this, and I'm like, I'm supposed to see some fountains. And I'm seeing nothing right now.
All right. What else? So the next Predator movie, Badlands, Prey, was fantastic, and we're hoping Badlands continues that. That's done some casting. Ellie Fanning, she's joined the cast, so that's ramping up production. Peaky Blinders movie's been confirmed on Netflix, and Cillian Murphy, he's coming to be in that. Movies coming out. We've got Twisters, and actually, Sasha and I was speaking in the cinema, and neither of us have actually seen the original Twister.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is crazy when I think about it. So I've downloaded it. Sasha, if you want it, I'll upload it. But yeah, I want to watch the first one. But I know. These things happen. But Twisters is coming out. A Quiet Place, day one. I do like the look of that.
It came out today, I believe, because
exactly.
I've been hearing a number of people said they've watched it, and there hasn't been a bad comment about it yet.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hopefully I'll get to watch it. Hopefully next week. If not, then I may require help watching it.
Yeah. Well, Kevin Costner, obviously his Horizon movie, which is his big epic movie, which is being split into at least 2 parts.
3.
Is it 3 now? Bloody hell.
It's 3.
He's pumped a lot of his own money into this apparently as well. So, so you've got that. Have you seen the trailer for the Lego Pharrell Williams biopic movie?
Yeah, I have.
Have you seen this, Sash?
No.
So Pharrell Williams has got a biopic movie coming out.
Yeah.
But it's being done in Lego.
What?
A Lego movie. It's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. You need to check this trailer out. It
Okay.
looks brilliant. It looks so good.
All right.
Yeah, crazy. I absolutely love that idea. Fair play to him.
I'm actually looking forward to the Michael Jackson biopic.
Yes, agree. Same.
Yeah.
Definitely. Chris Hemsworth is set to star in the lead for the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie.
Why?
Why
Because he's
pick him or
probably
why the
playing.
movie?
Because he's probably both, but he's probably playing Duke.
Or Optimus Prime.
No, he'll be playing Duke because it's a
Why'd
live
you say
action
that?
role.
I mean, like he is Optimus Prime now.
Oh
No, because it's a
animated
live
movie.
action role.
Yeah, but
He's
but
playing
I
a
hate
human
I hate to
character.
be the bearer of bad news, guys, but
Mhm.
it's an option. I mean, they replaced Cullen for a younger model. It wouldn't surprise
Can you
me.
imagine him playing a live action version of G.I. Joe and voicing Optimus Prime?
I reckon.
Well,
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. He's playing Optimus Prime. I won't watch this movie, by the way. I have no interest.
I tell you, that's a bet that only you making by yourself.
if I'm right, I'm gonna laugh so hard. I don't know what's worse, me living in no hope for good shit or me being hyped about good shit. Because right now, me just being an evil bastard, just going, it's shit. I thought it would be. Is more fun than fucking getting hyped up for something. What's wrong with me? There's something wrong with me.
I'm the same.
You know what it is? You become dejected when if you see enough.
Yeah.
If you see enough things that you're like, this should be good. I've waited my whole life to see this. I've waited generations to see that. I really wanted to see this. I wished for this when I was 15, and then X amount of decades later, here it is, and it's not good. You become dejected.
Yeah, it's just transformed. Like at the moment, we're having some of the worst Star Wars ever. I've seen none of it, but I'm laughing because I called it. Is it bad?
No, I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
I've lost it as well because like the Acolyte come out and I'm like, meh, I'll get around to it.
You haven't watched it, or
no? The need and want to watch these shows now is definitely drifting. I get more fun and enjoyment now of watching WWE than a lot of content out there, and that's why I enjoy doing that podcast. You know what I mean?
WWE is so much
cinema.
WWE is so much better than films right now. So much better than films.
I've got to ask you the question though, Ken. Like I remember you were looking forward to the Acolyte being the Sith thing and stuff.
I didn't know enough about it. Okay, no, I wasn't looking forward to it in the sense of
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really know enough about it. All I know is that it's Jedi set earlier, so I didn't have any expectations going in at all about it. But from what I've heard about how they're changing like canon and lore and stuff like that, I'm like, well, it's going to happen probably at some point when you have a franchise running as this long. But at the same time, if you have the right writers, you shouldn't need to do that. You shouldn't need to break that and piss people off.
Exactly. I said that multiple times in our group chat. I said, if you have to break the law, LORE, of a show, a film, an IP, if you have to break or alter that law to fit your story, you are not good at your job.
No, I don't know what they've broken. Story. I don't really know what they've broken or whatnot. I just look. Here's the thing. This is what I'm expecting. All right. I'm gonna say it straight up. I don't really know anything. Okay. So from everything, I'm not even saying what they've spoiled or whatnot because I don't know. I don't really know. Okay. All I know is that I didn't trust her from day one, from her first interview, and then that set the tone on how I felt about everything. Okay, like literally, the only glimmer of light was that Andor was pretty good, but that's because that writer was honest and he did his research.
Yeah.
Okay. She's going around.
And his thing is his thing is the least Star Wars thing of everything that's been released.
Yeah, but it doesn't trip over canon because
that's what I mean.
He worked on Rogue One, so he worked towards Rogue One, which leads into New Hope. So, he has his own little box that he can work in, and that's fine. But with this woman, like, I remember her first interview, they asked her point blank questions like, "Oh, what's your favorite thing about Star Wars?" "Oh, everything about Star Wars. I love everything about it." "What's your favorite moment?" "Oh, all of it. I love all the films." And that's it. You know what I mean? Like, who's your favorite character? "Oh, everybody. I like everyone has their moments and blah blah blah." And I'm just like,
everyone don't have their moments.
but yeah, I'm just there like, you're chatting shit. You know what I mean? Like, you are actually chatting shit, and it was just specific stuff. Now, Jon Favreau, 2006 Comic-Con. Hall H panel, Iron Man, without even talking about being asked about Star Wars, they asked him. So what was your what was it? They asked him a question like, what was your influences for this movie? And he turned around. He said, "The original Star Wars trilogy." He goes, "I liked that static of." It's not too much digital. It's more practical. It's more, beat up and dirty rather than everything shiny. That's why we've got Stan Winston to do the puppets and stuff, because he does the best. Industrial Light and Magic, they did the original Star Wars. You got to get the best effects house in the business on Iron Man. And you got to understand with ILM and Star Wars, this goes deep, okay? I want to do it where I treat the Marvel comics like Ralph McQuarrie's original concept paintings, like Joe Johnston's storyboards for George Lucas on Return of the Jedi. And, like, Iron Man is like my Boba Fett, okay? Because he flew and shit, and that's what drew me to Iron Man. And I'm just like, that's an answer from a fan. Laying down his influences, laying down the names that all the fans know you're not chatting shit. You know what I mean? Going in to lore and I like everything and blase fucking bullshit, man. She was chatting out of her ass. I'd much rather her be honest and be like, "Yeah, I've seen a couple of the movies, but this is so, fine, but don't point blank lie about it." And then the other thing, because of the era they set it in, okay, the era there are rules, because in Phantom Menace, which George wrote, and we all saw the Phantom Menace, okay, whether you liked it or didn't, there can only be 2 Sith, because years ago there were many.
Yeah.
This is some stuff off screen because it's spoken by George in interviews and stuff. So the whole point of the Sith there were Jedi, there were Sith, they'd get into wars and stuff. But ultimately, why there are no Sith is because they have a lust for power. They start turning on themselves for that power to be the Highlander, they want the knowledge kind of thing, which is something I thought we'd get in the Knights of Ren, because, you know what I mean? That would have been cool. That would have been a better story than what we got. So ultimately, there can only be 2, a master and apprentice, which is why you have the story of Dark Plagueis, because, the master teaches him enough, but the apprentice ends up killing him in sleep. You know what I mean? That's the dynamic, but that's how knowledge is passed from one to the other for a generation until they rise again, which is the whole fucking point. So with the Acolyte, I'm like, whoever sees a red saber, they dead. Because as Jedi Kade-Munde says in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the Sith have not been seen for 1,000 years. So if this is only like 400 years, okay, cool, but look, there are, but
apparently he's in the show as well.
Because it's 50 years. Because it's 50 years before.
Right. Okay.
Phantom Menace.
So here's the thing. Here's where I do an olive branch with that. Okay. 1, I haven't seen the show. Has he seen the Sith? Maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, maybe he hasn't seen it. Or
maybe he hasn't seen it, so he doesn't know. Because maybe motherfuckers died. I haven't seen the show. The other thing is, I don't know how old he is. I mean, he could be like, Yoda's 800 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so Yoda must be in this thing, must cameo in this thing. I don't know how old he is. You know what I mean? Like, he might be 400 years old. Who fucking knows? So I'm not bothered by that. But there are certain things. Now, if it's not a Sith, it could be a Jedi that's gone rogue, that's a dark Jedi, but they can't be as powerful as a Sith. They can't have that Sith knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They definitely wouldn't be branding a red lightsaber. So, do you know what I mean? So there are, you know, they could have Force users that do stuff like that. They could be Night Sisters, maybe. You know what I mean? Using the Force in different ways. But I don't know. I don't know. I hear there are witches in this, and I'm like, well, okay, if there's witches in it, maybe they're Night Sisters. You know what I mean? Like in Clone Wars and the Ahsoka show. Or if they've made up brand new witches, cool. All right. Well, they're using Force differences. Let's see what you got. But you got to stick within the rules of what George laid out with the Force and stuff. Okay. You mess with that stuff, you know, you mess with that too much, you could break it. You know what I mean? And if you,
I could mention what I've heard, but
don't tell me.
I
anything.
won't. No, I'd rather not spoil it for you because I'd like you to see it for yourself.
I might do a reaction video.
See these 3 fingers?
Yeah.
What?
3 years. In 3 years, Star Wars is 50 years old.
Oh, wow.
Don't try to change nothing.
Yeah.
Right? It's 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
And people have kept, and think, obviously, for those who are seasoned in age, we know that there have been films, well, not films, there have been books, there have been comic books, there have been video games, that there have been a ton of media that has come out that has contradicted other things, right? But there are some things that are just sacred and don't get touched. Homegirl came out the winged and she was like, you know, telling, oh, she loves all of it and she's gonna do this and she wants to do that, and you know, the comments, a lot of the comments that came out of her mouth, when Sasha first told me some of the comments that came out of her mouth, I thought she was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Nah, man, she was deadly serious, man.
But she meant that, and I was like, Star Wars is going to be 50 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Don't try and change things now.
Yeah.
Right. You're locked in.
Like, yeah, it's like Sasha said, you know, like it's okay for you not to be a fan of it if you're even an actor in it. You know, you're an actor, you're a paid job. But there's one go, oh yeah, I love Star Wars. Yeah, one of my favorite bits was like when Anakin blew up the Death Star. So, not quite, but you know, some people, it's a slip of the tongue, maybe make mistakes, but it feels like some of these actors feel like in order for the Star Wars fans to accept them, they need to be fans of the product. And it's like, no, just tell a good story and play your part. That's it.
Harrison Ford ain't a
Harrison Ford don't give a fuck, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's why we love him. That's why people love him. He doesn't give a shit. He like he plays up on it, and like you don't have to suck up to fans. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? Just be yourself. Be authentic. You know, like seriously, man. Like you don't have to love it. You know what I mean? If it's a job, it's a job, man. Like you know, like. Whatever, but when you lie about stuff and you're very disingenuous and it comes across in an interview, people see that. You know what I mean? So I had a problem with her from day one. And then as she got talking, she was like, yeah, I know the law, blah, blah, blah. But she was referring to the High Republic stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that's the stuff nobody, you know what? Here's an olive branch to this High Republic stuff. I've not read it. Okay. I've just heard stuff like you know, so, you know, I'm willing to like have a look at it and stuff because you've got to, you know what I mean, to be balanced. But it's like the Acolyte. The reason why I haven't seen it isn't because I'm taking the stance of, oh, fuck this shit. The thing is, there's so much visceral shit with this show. It's kind of like, I want to go in and watch it all in one go.
Yeah, same. That's how I feel.
If it's a show where I'm going to be fucked off for a week, well, guess what? I'm going to be fucked off for another week. It's 8 weeks of
and
me
then
being
8
fucked off.
Yeah.
I'm too old.
You'd rather watch it in like 2-3 days and then just get pissed off and just move on.
Not even 2-3 days. I'm doing it in one sitting, bruv. I'm not. Look, dude, like there's no way I'm gonna give it any more of my time or my. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm
yeah.
going to be bitching about this more than the Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. All right. And the last thing I want to say before we go is the Venom: The Last Dance trailer. Fuck Sony. Fuck that film. Fuck that franchise. I can't believe we have 3 of these fucking pieces of shit. Just fuck off. Fuck off. That's all I have to say about that. Anyone for any more?
You know what it is? How I have a question. Is when you think about it, we got 3 Venom movies, but we can't get a Dread sequel.
You know? Yeah.
forget a Dread sequel, bruh. We got 3 Venom movies, and Marvel can't even make a goddamn Blade movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You know, in the 7 years in the 7 years that Blade was announced, if you went back 20 years, in the same 7 years, Wesley Snipes made a damn trilogy.
Yeah, it's beyond a joke. Apparently, Disney are back at Hall H this year, so
oh god,
yeah, I don't know what they're going to be talking about.
We'll see.
That don't impress me because Comic-Con is just before Deadpool comes out.
Yes, yeah.
So they're gassed up off the knowledge that no matter how bad the presentation is, in a day or 2 days later or whatever it's going to be,
we'll be talking about Deadpool. Yeah,
everybody's going to be watching Deadpool anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's the next thing. That's probably the next big thing. I think that's when we're getting together. We're going to be watching Deadpool together. So, so yeah. All right. But yeah, maybe we'll try and watch Beverly Hills Cop 4 together, like on a watch party or something like that. Session mentioned that, but it might be a really good idea.
Man. Okay. So you know what? I rewatched the trilogy. Recently.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
I agree with Andreas that it's a bad movie, Cop 3. But you know what? I still like it.
I still liked it. I remember enjoying it.
However, because I'm older and know a bit more about, there are a lot of things wrong with Cop 3, man. There are a lot of things wrong with Cop 3.
To be fair, I haven't watched it in a long time.
Man, I got to go in. Okay, this is for you, Andreas, but I'm gonna go in. All right, you watch Beverly Hills Cop 1, and it is what it is, and it's fantastic. You watch Beverly Hills Cop 2, and it's just fucking good. Okay, like you've got fucking Tony Scott again at the top of his game. Okay, and you've got some of the best shot footage in action cinema on there. Just it's a damn good movie, man. And it's a Tony Scott film. I cannot hammer that point because you don't get better action films than a Tony Scott film, in my eyes. Okay. He did some of the greatest stuff, even before he died. Okay. Like I watched that Chris Pine film with Denzel Washington. Do you know the film I'm on about, Neil? Neil's trying to think.
Well, the one with the train.
The train one.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. That's a good fucking movie, man.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
That's a good fucking movie. And like yeah, he does Cop 2, and then you go to Cop 3. Now, here's the thing. Okay, Cop 3 is good because I was a kid and I have that. It's like Ghostbusters 2. Okay, it's not as good as that first movie, but because we grew up with it, we've got that certain candor to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agreed.
And that's the thing with Cop 3. It's a bad movie compared to 1 and 2. Yeah. Okay, like, and I'm not even going there with Wonderworld. I'm going to start with the fact Taggart's not in it, the fact Ronnie Cox isn't in it, the fact that what you call it, the villain is like a TV movie villain.
Yeah,
the fact that
made it PG, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a 12. It was 15 in the UK, but it was a PG-13 in the States. So everything was toned down because this is why Jerry Bruckheimer left.
Yeah,
Paramount wanted those kids' money, so they toned it down, and they got a DOP that ended up doing Hallmark movies. And what's worse is you go from a film perspective. You go from a Tony Scott looking fucking action film that looks like Top Gun with the burning sun and with the sun setting sun and that kind of golden hour look to a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looks cheap. It looks like a TV TV movie version of Beverly Hills Cop.
Mhm.
It's like, oh man, I get it now. I get it now.
Mhm.
And then the other thing is, and this is by Eddie Murphy's self admission, because he hates Cop 3.
Yeah.
He actually hates Cop 3. And Jerry ducked. Jerry was like, I want to do an R-rated movie. I ain't put my money into this. Laters. Good luck, Paramount. So, you know what I mean? When Bruckheimer and Don Simpson left, you know what I mean? It was like, oh damn. And then the other thing is, Eddie Murphy made the mistake, and I get it. He was a young actor. He was at a point in his career where he's done the comedy thing. He's got Metro, the movie Metro coming out, and Metro's not meant to be a action comedy. It's supposed to be an action movie where he's a serious cop with a bit of a street edge, and he wants to be he wants to be taken seriously as an actor. So when we went back to Cop 3, he was like, I'm going to do the script as written, and I want to like lessen the jokes because I'm in my 30s now and I've got to be more serious. You know what I mean? And because, you know, of the nature of the movie, it being the PG-13, the jokes don't necessarily come from Axel. We accept Murphy as being Axel because it's Eddie Murphy. The jokes are coming from the visual gags, you know what I mean, that you would get from a kid's movie. And that coming off of Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, where Murphy steals the show with his great persona and his great use of ad-libbing and everything, you know what I mean? The energy is, the energy is not there. That was the one piece of energy from Cop 3 that is all ad-libbing and great comes from Surge. That guy steals the show in the scenes that he's in. So, you know what I mean? But that brings me to Cop 4. I know I've gone on big, long tangents today, but Beverly Hills Cop 4, both trailers, in my opinion, have been fire. And not only fire, it brings the return of fucking Eddie Murphy doing his thing. Because I'm sorry, the comment about the fucking Lego cops, that's Eddie. That's him ad-libbing. They've even said that they had a script, but they did what they did with the first two. So with that going in mind, I'm kind of hyped. Okay, I'm kind of
you have been.
I'm really hyped for Cop 4. I'm a bit too hyped. I want to, after watching Cop 3 though, and listening to Andreas, I'm trying to dial it back. But then they put out that Surge fucking TV spot, and I'm just like,
oh, see, I haven't watched
they had
any
the
of that.
lemon twist, and they had the lemon twist, and I was like, oh my god, man, you guys are killing me now.
No, I'm definitely looking forward.
I hope
to it.
it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it delivers. I really hope it delivers because, yeah. But you know, it could be turd. It could be turd. It could easily be turd.
I don't know. Eddie Murphy has confirmed that he's doing the recording for the next Shrek movie, and he's also doing a Donkey spin-off movie as well. So that is going to be coming soon.
And they're already talking Top 5.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. We'll
Jerry's like this. Jerry's like he's praying. He's praying to Don Simpson's spirit to come save him. That's what he's doing.
We'll have to see what happens with those viewing numbers. Yeah. The last thing I want to speak about before we go is obviously we've seen some pictures online now of Superman, David Cornsweet in the Superman suit. Just want to get your thoughts of what you've seen so far. Neil does not look impressed.
I ain't supposed to see the folds and the creases in your suit. And whilst I understand staying true to, you know, iconic imagery and whatnot, them red pants got to go.
Oh, see, I like the pants.
Nah, they got to go. Done. Their time has come and their time has gone. Right? You want to put maybe a little bit of red trim under the yellow belt to signify what was there. Cool. But from having no pants in, did he have pants in Superman Returns?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Right. All right. So for having no pants for all of that, Yeah, from Man of Steel and the entire section of movies, you know, no pants to suddenly they're back again, and it's just it just doesn't work. It's not like and the thing is, it's not like Batman, right? Where you could look at a Batman suit that's got the pants on it still and be like, it's gray and black. They kind of blend together. This is the two most opposing colors. This is Bloods and Crips. This is red and blue. And they're just together and it's just not working. Okay. For me personally.
I don't have a problem with the suit. There were some shots where it did look a little bit baggier around the midriff, which seemed a little bit odd. But, you know, at the same time, I'm okay with not having necessarily a form-fitting suit. You know, why does it have to be? Why does it have to be showing off Superman having abs and all this kind of stuff? It is just a suit. Now, I don't know whether it's different. I don't know whether they're going to do any CGI to it and adapt it afterwards. I don't know. Because like some of the shots I've seen, it looks better than other times. Yeah. I've wondered if there is a point where they open the back of the suit up and allow air in, and then they seal it. And it,
of course.
And it constricts and tightens in, but because a lot of the shots you've seen is not actual during filming, but there are some shots of where it is filming and it looks a little better. So I'm just wondering whether that might be something. But look, James Gunn's costumes have all been pretty good in Guardians and stuff like that. They have looked decent on film, and you know, some of the shots of even Henry Cavill's suit looked a little bit strange, like off camera. When it's on camera, it's very different. But I've liked all the rest of the aesthetic I've seen. I like the look of the Daily Bugle. I like the look of Lois. I've seen Perry
Daily
White
Planet.
now as well. Daily Planet, it's there's a lot of practical stuff. There's like a battle in the street and the rubble's there and the cars are crashing. It's like, case is looking good. So look, we'll have to wait and see. But Sasha, what are your initial thoughts?
At first I was like Neil and Chris. I was like, oh God, that really? But then, you know what? I've seen a few more pictures. Here's the thing. All right. I don't remember a lot of backlash on Henry Cavill. I think the big thing was like, whoa, no white fronts. Kind of works, you know?
People complained about the color.
People complaining about the color. Why is it not bright blue or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they got over that. And then they got over that stuff. The other thing is though, I still remember the Brandon Routh criticism. Okay. Now that first image wasn't that great, but when you saw the actual film, it looked a lot better on film. And that's the thing. Okay. That is ultimately the thing. Maybe when we see it look, at the moment, from that, I'm like, look, I don't really care about the stills. Just, I want to see it. I want to see it more. I want to see it more, you know, in the film, in its element, because that's when I'm going to give a shit. Same with this haircut. When I saw the haircut, and because it had a Clark Kent picture and he has like an afro kind of thing,
like rather really curly at the front.
Yeah, a bit curlier hair. And I was just like, I'm not digging that because, you know, I'm a purist, really. I want my traditional Clark Kent.
Yeah, but then when you put them side by side, it's actually, he does look like a different guy, you know?
Yeah. No, totally. And it kind of lends to that a bit more. But either way, you know what? I'm willing to forgive that. Look, all these little aesthetical things, I'm willing to forgive if the movie's great.
Exactly.
If the movie ain't great, then you know what I mean, it's
you'll pick on those things more.
Then all of that's like the extra stuff. People are gonna be like, yeah, and then this, and I couldn't even get the hair right, and you know what I mean. But like, a good movie trumps all. You know what I mean? A good movie trumps all. If it's great, then I'll take the greatness because we do a great Superman movie. I just have one request, 2 words, one request: John Williams. Okay, that's all I want. Okay, you don't have to get back John Williams. Get someone else do his score. I want that theme song. All right.
I don't, because it's a different Superman, and I don't want, as much as I love the theme tune and that music, it needs to be its own thing now. They need to distance themselves away from that with this new DCU. They brought it back for Henry Cavill at the end of Black Adam. You had that, you know, and it felt good, but now they're doing it completely separate and new. I just don't think it's going to work. I think we need something fresh.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's pure nostalgia talking, and you know,
I mean, it's going to be hard to compete with. But...
Yeah, but essentially, at the end of the day, what we have to remember is this is not being made for our generation. This is being made for the generation who are between the ages of 15 and
14 now.
Yeah. This is their Superman. This is their movie. Then when they have whatever version of podcasts
I get the Kool-Aid you're drinking. I hear that Kool-Aid you're drinking, Neil. But give me something. Otherwise, you know what? What's there to be excited about? Why am I doing this podcast? Why? But seriously, I'm being serious, bro. Like, suck the joy out of everything, man. Like, I get it. Not made for me.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Not made for me. Not made
At
for
the
me.
end of the day, most stuff now isn't made for us, which is crazy because we're the ones with the more disposable income than like 20-year-olds. Stop.
Yeah, but we spend our disposable income on shit from the past.
Yeah, but if you embrace the past more, I spent like $250 building a lightsaber because I love the Star Wars movies when I'm younger. So it's like I will spend money on the stuff that means something to me. So like Sasha says, I get it. You know, stuff isn't being made for us now, but it's like, but why? We should be your peak audience now. You know, our generation has kids. We'll take kids to see some stuff, yes, but we absorb the content. We will spend the money on stuff that means the most to us. I mean, look how much I spend on Lego. Look, you know, I'm buying Swords of Thundercats, and do you know what I mean? It's like, why are you going to that younger audience? They're not the ones spending the money. So just don't piss the adults off and don't piss the parents off because, I don't want to take my kids to see that movie because I think it's going to be trash, you know, but they're going to demand it. But it's like, it's a battle. It's like, stop the fighting. Do you know what I mean? But, anyway, look, we'll wrap it up. I've got to edit this podcast down to shit because we've gone on for so fucking long. Right, guys, thank you very much for being here. Really, really appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate you. As always, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe on YouTube and hit that follow on audio podcast platform of your choice. And our next episode, we're going to be going back. I think it was top movies of 89. I think is the next year that we're going to be doing. So that'll be our next release. And it's good to be back. So Neil, Sasha, thank you for being here. Until next time, peace out.
Peace.